Right now, a quiet war is being fought, and I mean literally fought, over pieces of silicon no larger than your fingernail. Listen, if you think the tech boom of the last decade was big, you are completely unprepared for the massive capital migration happening right under our noses. Here's the hard truth. If your portfolio is just sitting in broad market index funds, you are missing out on what could honestly be the greatest structural wealth transfer in human history. Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here today because we're going to break down the exact companies that control the physical machinery of the future. All right, let's dive right into this.
$400 billion. Every single year, the world's largest tech giants dump over $400 billion into artificial intelligence infrastructure. That's a staggering number, right? But here is the secret most retail investors completely miss. That money doesn't just magically float around in the cloud. The cloud is actually a physical place. All of that capital must flow directly through a microscopic physical bottleneck that is controlled by a very small, very specific group of companies.
So the crucial point we have to figure out is, where is this capital actually flowing? Because it's one thing to know that Microsoft and Google are spending billions, but if you want to truly understand the market, you have to follow the money all the way down to the bedrock. We're moving way past the software hype today, and we are looking squarely at the physical infrastructure monopolies.
Now, while the broader tech sector is up a very healthy 21.5% this year, the Semiconductor benchmark index has done something mathematically absurd. It has surged 99% year-to-date. This explosive growth is driving the entire industry toward an unprecedented $1.5 trillion global market milestone by the end of 2026. And by the way, that is years earlier than Wall Street initially anticipated.
You might be wondering, what exactly is acting as the rocket fuel for this? Well, there are two massive macroeconomic catalysts at play here. First, we have inflation easing. Recent diplomatic progress in U.S.-Iran negotiations has introduced some much-needed stability into global energy supply chains. As oil and gas prices cool off, so does inflation, and that stabilizes interest rates. Because advanced semiconductor stocks trade based on long-term growth expectations, this stability causes the smart money to aggressively rotate out of defensive plays and right into high-growth tech. And second, we have the massive institutional shift towards something called agentic AI.
Let's unpack that. We've officially moved past the experimental training phase of artificial intelligence, and we are now in what's known as agentic AI. This is the massive institutional implementation phase. Hyperscalers like Microsoft and Oracle are deploying absolute billions into the advanced data centers required to run complex, reasoning-heavy AI models that act as independent agents. But here's the catch. This capital windfall is not being distributed evenly.
We are seeing deep dispersion in the market. Just look at these staggering year-to-date returns for a second. Micron is up 281%. AMD up 156%, Credo up 80%. Not every chip company is a winner here, guys. The market is aggressively crowning a select group of 7 semiconductor companies that hold absolute architectural dominance. Let's look at exactly who these players are and the fundamentals driving their insane growth.
But first, we need to understand a fundamental industry concept called fabless manufacturing. A fabless company designs the absolute most advanced microchips in the world, but they do not physically build them. Think of them like master architects who never actually pour a single ounce of concrete. They rely entirely on external foundries. This is a critical piece of the puzzle, because giants like Apple or NVIDIA are completely dependent on external manufacturing bottlenecks to bring their designs to life. And this fabless model directly shapes corporate strategy. Take NVIDIA versus Broadcom, for example. NVIDIA is the undisputed king of raw-scale and generative AI processing hardware, but Broadcom, they've taken a totally different yet highly lucrative path. Their primary competitive advantage is actually decoupling from that singular graphics processor narrative and leaning heavily into custom hardware partnerships. It's a fascinating tale of two incredible but very different market approaches.
Okay, let's start breaking down these 7 dominant entities, beginning with KLA Corporation. KLA occupies a massive choke point. Imagine a modern fabrication plant, or a fab, that costs upwards of $20 billion to build. Inside those fabs, a single microscopic particle on a silicon wafer can ruin an entire production batch.
KLA builds the hyper-advanced optical inspection tools needed to audit those microscopic production lines. That dominance pushed their share price up 112% over the first half of 2026. They even completed a 10-for-1 forward stock split to enhance retail liquidity, and analysts view this post-split consolidation as a prime long-term entry point.
Next up is Micron Technology. They are the absolute master of the memory bottleneck. While everyone is always talking about processing speed, modern AI is fundamentally constrained by memory bandwidth. AI context lengths are currently expanding at a ridiculous rate of 30 times per year. Because of this, Micron's high-bandwidth memory modules have become the literal lifeblood of AI data centers. This dynamic is exactly what drove an extraordinary 281% year-to-date surge in their stock during this 12th consecutive global DRAM cycle.
Then, of course, we have NVIDIA. Sitting at a historic $5.1 trillion market cap, their current challenge is simply managing extreme scale. To double its valuation from here, NVIDIA requires perfect execution and non-stop infrastructure spending from global hyperscalers. To fund their massive competitive moat, NVIDIA just launched a monumental $20 billion corporate bond sale. They absolutely need this capital because their projected capital expenditures are set to hit an incredible $7.9 billion by the end of 2026.
Now let's consider AMD, which is staging a massive high-momentum turnaround, up 156% year-to-date. Their main catalyst is that industry pivot toward the agentic AI we talked about earlier. These AI agents require incredibly efficient central processing units to complement the graphics processors. To solve internal data transfer bottlenecks, AMD strategically acquired Mext, which is a memory optimization provider, and wow, the market loved this architectural integration so much, it sent the stock up 7% within just 24 hours of the announcement.
Moving over to Broadcom, currently trading around $394 a share. They just signed a landmark $35 billion joint venture called AIXPV alongside Blackstone and Apollo. The goal? To build out 20 gigawatts of pure computing capacity over the next 2 years. They're utilizing their proprietary chips and networking fabrics for top model developers, having already secured custom hardware orders from Anthropic, valued at over $20 billion, plus a massive 10 gigawatt deployment with OpenAI.
And that brings us to Taiwan Semiconductor, or TSMC. Guys, this is the ultimate structural choke point of the global technology landscape. Remember fabless manufacturing from earlier? Well, NVIDIA, AMD, Apple, and Broadcom are entirely dependent on TSMC to physically manufacture their advanced silicon. But TSMC is facing a very unique problem. Global demand has completely outstripped their physical production limits. Despite aggressive fab construction globally, they still recorded a 30% year-over-year revenue surge recently, and senior leadership is aggressively buying up company stock on the open market.
Finally, rounding out our 7, we have Credo Technology. This is your specialized momentum asset, meaning it moves much faster and way more aggressively than the broader market. They make high-speed connectivity solutions to transport massive data blocks between servers without any signal degradation. After a sharp dip earlier in the year, Credo engineered a massive V-shaped recovery, surging 149% over just 3 months. Why? Because enterprise data centers had to rapidly update server topologies to handle heavier reasoning models. Wall Street definitely took notice, pushing the consensus earnings projection all the way up to $5.94.
All right, Section 1, mapping the hardware stack, specifically looking at the semi-cap basket.
So instead of blindly guessing which software company is going to win the AI war, institutional capital maps the exact flow of this infrastructure spend. It works like this. Step 1. Hyperscalers allocate their billions. Step 2. Every single dollar deployed toward AI infrastructure must pass through TSMC's advanced manufacturing nodes. Step 3. Because TSMC is running at max capacity, that capital then has to flow into the consolidated oligopoly of equipment and inspection providers. We're talking about companies like KLA and ASML that build the actual tools to make the chips. These picks and shovel suppliers have crystal clear visibility into their order books all the way out into 2027.
Section 2, Structural Risks and Market Traps.
Now, protecting your capital is just as important as growing it. And we have to be honest, there are major risks here. First is macro sensitivity.
Because these companies' profits are tied up years into the future, they trade as long-duration assets. This makes their stocks highly sensitive to interest rates. Any unexpected policy shift from central banks or a credit event in private AI financing could easily trigger a rapid collapse in valuations across this entire industry. You have to be aware of the macro environment.
And here is a massive trap that so many retail investors fall right into, relying on 13F regulatory filings to copy the institutional smart money. Listen to me, this is a fundamentally flawed strategy. Due to the regulatory reporting lag, by the time you actually see a 13F filing, those positions were established 45 to 90 days in the past. In a fast-paced macro environment like semiconductors, sophisticated funds have routinely hedged, rotated, or taken profits long before their filings ever hit the public record. Do not get caught holding the bag on outdated information.
Finally, Section 3. Position your portfolio for the next leg up.
The era of easy, indiscriminate stock gains is pretty much over. Surviving this new market paradigm means moving past simple headlines and really understanding the absolute structural monopolies that control the physical machinery of the future. So I'll leave you with this provocative question to think about. Which semiconductor monopoly are you holding for the back half of 2026? To stay ahead of this exact curve and get real-time market updates, drop your email in the link below to join our newsletter of over 100,000 smart investors. If you found this explainer valuable today, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know your answer to that final question down in the comments. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.